Once we've added our background colors in, the next part of our project is to add details in. Now, this is the part that's going to take a lot of trial and error. There'll be a lot of working at things, seeing if they work with the other parts of our picture, and then maybe deleting things and starting again. So just bear with us, bear with it and take your time. Now, the concepts that we use across the three apps are the same, just as before. The details I had to do them are slightly different. So if we're using Canvas, we don't have an awful lot of pen tools. We have the pencil, which gives us a kind of still lines, but it's just a wee bit rougher than the pen tool that we've used before. We can do those. We have this chalk and create quite a nice effect that we'll probably use a fair bit if you've got water in. So what we're going to do when we're adding our detail in is I'm going to take a look at my layer here. So I'm going to start with the water, and I'm going to hide that for a second, and I'm just going to notice what I see about the sea. So it's not consistent. We've got one color, but we've got lots of darks and lots of dark colors and lots of light colors, and we seem to be a little bit lighter at the front and then darker as we go further back. So just like before, I'm going to add a new layer. I'm going to turn this one back on again. And then when I go to choose my color, if I go to my palette, I have the color that I chose before. Then I'm going to go to custom, and I'm going to use this to create a lighter and a darker color that I'm going to use. So I'm going to start with my darks. I'm going to choose a color that's a bit darker. I'm going to start putting this in. And then I will choose a size. Now, what we can also do is we can alter the opacity. So that means how thick it is. So I might decide that my darks, I want them to be very dark. And put it in like this. I may decide that I want to check, if I change the opacity, if I go to about halfway, then you notice it's much fainter, more subtle use of the color. So I'm going to just have a think and play around with some bits. And if there's something I don't like, I can erase and try again. And again, because we've used a different layer for my darks, I'm not erasing my background color. I'm not erasing my outlines. I'm just erasing the parts I've just created. So I'm going to have a go first of all at adding some dark parts. It's a bit small, I think. Okay, and then once I've done that, again, I'm going to take another look. I'm going to hide this in here just so I can see what's going on here. So I have some light parts in there as well. So let's turn that one back on. So in another layer, I'm going to go back. I'm going to choose a color. So this is going to be a brighter, almost white. I'm going to use here. And in this layer, I'm going to add some light parts to go along with my the dark parts. So there you go. So let's just take a look here again. So I can see they're not always close together. Sometimes there's a bit of a gap between them. And the light parts tend to be a little bit bigger than the darker parts. So I'm going to turn this back on. I'm going to make sure that I'm in the correct layer. I'm going to add my light parts. Now I remember that there tended to be more light parts in the front section. So I'm going to add more in the front. In the foreground, we should say. And less so in the back, so I might go back to my darker one. If I go to my palette, I can find that dark color that I used before. Maybe add some more dark. Maybe change the opacity, make it a bit heavier here to suit. And once again, you can see I've gone over the line there, but that's not a problem. Because I can fix that with my eraser. And I only erase the shading that I put in. I don't erase anything else. So I'm going to do that for my sea, and then when I come to the sun, I come to the clouds and the rest of it, I'm going to add a new layer for those and do those as well. Now, as I said, there's going to be an awful lot of trial and error with this here. It's just about trying to get it right. if you're using Fire Alpaca, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add another layer in. Let me move this out of the way. So we've got add a new layer. Now we can use our color picker in Fire Alpaca and then move this. When we're making this darker, it's essentially going to be black because it's quite a dark color I've used there. So I may decide I want to change that. So I'm going to go back to my brush. Now in Fire Alpaca, we've got lots of different brush types that we can use. So we can use this airbrush. I'm going to change the size of it. We can change the opacity of it. So if I make it 100, it will look like that. I'm going to press Ctrl Z to get rid of that. If I bring it down to 50% or roughly there, it's still quite dark. Let's bring it down a bit more. So you see it's starting to become a wee bit more subtle. So I can play around with those. I can change the brush and change the size of that. Now with the airbrush, the size tends to affect how opaque it is. So if I do this here, it's not great for those smaller ones. So we might have those darker ones like that. And then I'm rushing here. You can obviously do this a lot better than me. So if I were to choose my white color and make this bigger, this would be more effective for a bit of an effect. If I wanted it in there, maybe that's not quite opaque enough, so I'll undo that. Reduce it even more. Okay. And again, there's lots of other brushes that we can use. So the watercolor, we can try that. If we don't like that, we can try that. So lots of things we can try there. As I said, just a lot of trial and error. And then again in GIMP, similar kind of thing. We'll make a new layer. If we want to, we can give it a name. So as we choose our paintbrush, we've got lots of different paintbrush styles that we can choose here. And to choose our color, we can click here and alter the color. We can change the size here where it says size. Okay, now GIMP is a slightly trickier application to use, but where it does stand up is it has much more brush styles and brush techniques that you can use to really personalize your pictures. Okay, so best of luck with that. Remember to make sure to add a new layer for every different part you do. So you'll add a new layer for the sun. When you're putting, for this particular image here, if you were doing the clouds, you'd add, say, another layer for the darkness of the clouds, another layer for the lightness of the clouds. You might want to add another layer if you want to add some different shades on the background. Add another layer to put that in as well. So have a play around. Best of luck with that. Play around with the order of the layers as well. See if that has a positive effect on your work. And as ever, if you have any questions, come and find me and I will help you as best I can.